Special thanks to Stumbling Tours super sponsors Schumann 3D Blast, Shine Wolf, Ministry of Ennui Control, Metric Conversion, Rune Fox, Thingy, Lemon 314, and Lord Entropy. Visit David X Newton on Patreon to join the ASCII Brigade.
Yeah, Nintendo was a lot less shy about just killing off their bad guys than we remember back then, weren't they?
He seemed to get better enough to race in Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, they always get better, and except for the poor Crocomire, R.I.P. But the Mario enemies usually get better, but they do they do have some misfortune in their day, don't they?
Yeah. I'm still annoyed at the character roster of Mario Kart 8, where instead of having, all these characters they could have had, it's all 50 of Bowser's hideous children.
Hey, I like the Koopalings. Like, I'm glad those are in. My only lament is that there's no Birdo, because that's always been my favorite.
What do I do now? Hang on. I think I need to retrieve a shell. Oh, hang on a minute. I can go down here. Aha! Does it help? There we go. All right. Is it coming back? It is not. Okay.
It vanished into the ether. At least that Buzzy Beetle didn't, like, die horribly or something. It just kind of despawned.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was very dodgy. Oh! Sinking into lava! Ah!
Almost.
So close. Did I get a tape in this? No, I think this is the very start again. Oh, I like that there's reverb on the sound here. I don't know if it's coming through in the...
Well, I mean, I actually can't hear the game from this end, but that's okay. I've played it so many times, I pretty much have what it sounds like memorized. They like to put fancy touches like that in a lot of cases. It's just neat.
Yeah, they're definitely showing off the hardware of the Super Nintendo. Now, how do I get around here? Not that way. And I can't hold down and jump. There's a feather there. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to help. Ah! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so that pipe just goes all the way up. Okay. Let's use this for protection. That didn't last long. Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay, so the cape lets me attack like that. Alright. You mentioned the loudspeakers, the tutorial boxes at the start, but a lot of this game is intuitive enough that you can just wing it.
Yeah, you really don't seem to be having any trouble here for someone who's never played this game before. I mean, you've played a Mario game, and once you've played one, you can usually pick up the rest from context. But you're not. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say you're not struggling. You know how to play. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's not like Super Metroid where I didn't know you could run for ages, and not knowing how to run is a huge impediment to getting anywhere in the game.
And yet you sequence broke and used a frozen enemy to get around the thing that you were supposed to have the speed booster for.
Out of desperation, I invented a new speedrunning strategy.
I'm pretty sure that's not a speedrunning strategy. I think it's a lot faster to just, use the speed booster. But it is cool. It's a sequence break.
It wouldn't be called a speedrunning strategy because that's too many syllables. They call them strats. It's not fast enough to say.
Pronouncing the word speedrun any percent run. And now these days, we, I guess, are getting into Twitch streaming now, and we'll end up playing a bunch of esoteric, weird indie stuff on stream once I get the cable for my capture card in. I have a bunch of Switch games like just the weird end of Itch.io that got ported to Switch for some reason. that those are the kind of games we actually like. So I'll be looking forward to showing those off once I get the cable. Like, I just the TV setup physically cannot reach the computer. I have a capture card, but I can't plug it in without a longer HDMI cable. So
Okay.
I ordered one. It's in the mail. But anyway, so we'll be doing that eventually. But for now, I'm mostly just speed running Family Dog because back to the whole "that's what we had at the time" speech. I developed a connection to Family Dog somehow, and I got into speed running, and now here we are.
Amazing. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually introduce Celine when I mentioned her at the start of this video. I've known Celine for a very long time, since 2006 at least, and I think we've shared countless gaming memories together, and she is responsible for my entire YouTube career in many ways.
Well, these things happen sometimes.
Yeah, but you made some post about Snake Rattle and Roll. I don't remember what exactly it was, but I decided that day when I was bored at work that I was going to go home and I was going to record myself playing it and show you what a first timer did with it.
Snake Rattle and Roll is not an easy game. I think if I was making a post about it, it would have been about how, well, probably because I have a LiveJournal. It would have been LiveJournal at the time I stream with now, but LiveJournal icon that's of Snake Rattle and Roll. That probably seeing that icon's where it started. But B, that is just a brutally hard game, and I was probably complaining about it, and then you maybe just grabbed a camera and said, "Oh, watch this," and essentially proved my point.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to get this American footballer to run through these blocks. He's a stupid sport anyway. He's gone. Ah.
Yeah, we ended up inspiring each other for a lot of things. I think this all started with Hatful Boyfriend, actually,
yes.
where I did playthrough of that, and then I decided to do another playthrough of that with my friends involved, and you were in that, and then from there we kind of all started doing our own things, and
yeah, I mean that's what kickstarted my channel. I thought, I'll just put a couple of these online on YouTube now that we've voiced through them. It'll be funny, and we got this army of Japanese fangirls.
And now, yeah, one of them's my ex, so I don't like to talk about that. But now, and now you're big enough that that you actually have like Patreon patrons and stuff. You're actually like content creator that people pay money to support, which is amazing, and I'm kind of jealous actually. So hopefully our Twitch career will end up similarly successful, but we're just barely getting off the ground at this point. But you can always get in on the ground floor, as it were, I suppose, if you want to support us.
Yeah, that's what is your channel just now?
It's Twitch TV / Kyorteo, KJORTEO. And when in doubt, if you're ever looking for us on the web, just try anything / Kyorteo. Like my Fur Affinity username is Kyorteo. I'm Kyorteo on Dreamwidth. I'm Kyorteo on Twitch. It's a very handy account name. Because it used to be my Fursona's name before I transitioned. So I'm actually not Kyorteo anymore. I'm Celine now. But it's still just a very handy account name for whenever I want to sign up for anything, because it's very unique and is never taken.
Mm-hmm. Does Kyorteo still exist as a character?
I don't think so. I think that's just me now, and I'm Celine.
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
Kyorteo exists to the extent that that was me before I transitioned, and I still exist. I didn't stop existing. I just am a girl now with a different name. But
It's an improvement.
we're trying. We're actually 4 woodlings in a trench coat, but these things come along. These things happen. People grow in interesting and unpredictable directions.
Yeah, since the lockdown, I'm mostly growing outwards.
Yeah, I know the feeling there, unfortunately.
Oh, at last! At last I've got to the checkpoint of this level. I know that, this has nothing on diminish or anything like that, but sometimes it feels like it when I'm used to being sort of led by the hand by modern games.
Watch Diminish too, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just want to drop a plug for that for anyone who's watching. It's really good.
It is. I watched basically the whole thing in about 5 days, up to where it is now, and now I'm desperate for more episodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you get caught up with a live series, it's like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be worth the wait, I know, because it's just been so amazing so far, and so profoundly meaningful to a lot of us, actually.
Yeah.
Because of its messages and everything. So, like, in addition to just being a really fun, entertaining,
terrifying
video series to watch with a cute furry protagonist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's odd because I used to play horror games by accident because people kind of goaded me into them, and then I realized I kind of liked them, even though I'm terrified of them. And you weren't as into that, but now your whole aesthetic is things that are sort of cute on the surface, disguising the horrific rot within.
My aesthetic at this point, and I think that's actually been fairly consistent. I don't like horror games that are, the more like 3D, your Silent Hills and Resident Evils and whatnot. I'm not into that kind of horror, but I absolutely adore the kind of horror that's done up like 8/16-bit creepypasta haunted gaming stuff, like your Pony Islands and whatnot, which I have not played, which I really need to, but I know enough about it through osmosis just to know that is an example. But the games that are I think what it is I played a lot of Pokemon Red and Blue back in the day. Actually Red, my friends had Blue, I had Red, but that's when we had missing number and
Ah,
the glitch cities you can warp to and all that stuff. This was back in the days before games had things like error handling. So if you could confuse it into reading garbage data, it would just try its best and give you this like teleport you to this Lovecraftian glitch town. And I that is my aesthetic. I adore that stuff, and I still do. So if anyone has any good like haunted gaming creepypasta type games that are done up to look like missing numbered Pokemon and that sort of stuff, hit us up. Leave your recommendations in the comments or something.
I thought there might be a hidden door here. It looked suspicious, but I'm not getting anything. I've been here before. Yeah, this is kind of halfway to that aesthetic that you're talking about, where the game starts to break down and not make sense. Incidentally,
Well,
I'm utterly terrified of the same aesthetic that you just mentioned. It was hugely scary to me that a machine was breaking the rules of the game and starting to think on its own.
Oh man, one of my earlier
Yeah.
memories is playing the original Dragon Warrior for NES, which nowadays we'd know that as Dragon Quest One, but it was localized as Dragon Warrior back in the day. But it was, one of the first. I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the very early examples of what we would now know as a JRPG. You had your character, you walked around, did the menu turn-based battles. You had a world map with like the castle icon you stepped on, and that teleported you to the town. But it was very primitive in a lot of ways. There were a lot of game limitations because this was one of the first it was the first Dragon Quest game, obviously, one of the first RPGs, period. There was a lot of things that hadn't been refined yet, so there were a lot of patterns you ended up noticing and then assuming that was like the rules, because every time the game did that, it was like all the game knew how to do, essentially. Like, for example, if you see a town icon on the world map, that's a town. You'll step on it, you'll be taken to a town. It will play the town theme because there's exactly one town theme in that game, and it's where you can rest at an inn, buy items, etc. If you see like a cave icon, it takes you to a cave or a dungeon where it plays the dungeon theme. That's where there are enemies, except for the mountain or the cave where you get the tablet. The tablet of Erdrick is the only cave that doesn't have enemies. But other than that, the enemies are in caves, they're not in towns, etc., etc. And then towards the very end of the game, you see this town icon in the desert. And by then it's a very big desert. So you've been wandering and you see a town and it's like, oh, thank God, an oasis, I can finally rest up here. And you go in, and this was what was known as Hawk's Nest then. Now I believe it's been relocalized to Damdara. Where
That's a
it's
significant downgrade.
Yeah, isn't it? I have issues with a lot of I actually like the Dragon Warrior localization in a lot of ways compared to Quest. I mean, I'll still play the new Dragon Quest games. I'm not going to be that bitter about it, but I'm always going to have a soft spot for the NES Dragon Warrior games. But anyway, so you get to Hawk's Nest, and it's this completely ruined town. Like, the story is the Dragon Lord and his minions just like completely destroyed the town. It's in ruins, and so there are no people there. It actually plays the dungeon theme. And there are enemies there. There are actually very strong enemies there, and the encounter rate is absurdly high in Hawk's Nest. So you're looking forward to taking this nice rest in this town, and you end up in these glitchy looking ruins because Dragon Warrior 1's tile set was not exactly robust. You know, when they were trying to paint something that looked like a ruined, destroyed town, they could only do so much. But it ended up looking, you know, a lot like one of those missing numbers cities. And you know, it's got the dungeon music. Towns aren't supposed to have the dungeon music. This has the dungeon music. It has enemies. Towns aren't supposed to have enemies. This has enemies. You know, it broke all the rules of what Dragon Warrior was supposed to do and was supposed to be at that point. Like, I thought I knew that game, and then I got to Hawksness. So that was a very early thing that scared a very young me. I was terrified of that town. To this day, I'm a little nervous around it, actually.
Oh yeah.
Mostly just because the encounter rate is so high, and you get like end game enemies, and it's just it's actually level 20 is the max level in that game, or at least the max level in which you actually progress when you gain levels. There's like a soft cap there. I think you can still gain experience, but like nothing happens when you level up anymore. You stop learning spells and so on. Anyway, basically level 20 is end game. Like, you're supposed to go beat the Dragon Lord at level 20. Like, that's the end of the game. But at level 20, the enemies are in Hawksness are still strong enough that the repel spell, which makes it so that you don't see enemies weaker than you, does not work. You will still see enemies in Hawksness, even with repel on, at level 20, which is another thing that startled me. And you know, that game still knows how to make me jump after all these years.
Yeah, it sounds completely terrifying, just breaking all the rules that had been established in the game up until then. I've read it's I don't have an example of that from growing up, but it's definitely what Undertale did near the very end, where it just goes mad.
Oh, I love that part so much because, again, that's my aesthetic.
I know. I was secretly filming you, which is, I promise, the only time I've done that. Because we were at, I want to say, Rainforest 2015. It might have been, and you were playing it in the corner of the room, and I had the camera out because I thought this is going to be great. I'm going to get a big scream reaction, and just like I had, because I was too terrified to continue the game at that point. And you were just sitting there going, "This is fantastic."
Well, I mean, I was still like inwardly startled. You know, I might have been having like a bit, like my eyes were getting a bit wider and so on. But I react to such things very internally. I don't usually scream except on the inside. But you know, trust me, things were happening on the inside. That, you know, that it might not have shown up on film. But,
oh yeah, there are only two games I've been too scared to continue playing after I resolved to complete them, and Undertale is one, and Trilby's Notes was the other. And in both cases, I eventually went back to them.
The only game I've ever been too scared to like try again, like even things like Hawksness and Dragon Warrior, I still beat Dragon Warrior. You know, like even things like that. Like I'll get scared by it, but I'll still continue. The only game I've been too afraid to ever go back to, I think, is Space Quest 4.
Right, and you're right to be. And you know, there are games that I would never play, like Five Nights at Freddy's, because I just don't do well with that kind of jump scare, and I'd have a heart attack and die. But I'm still really interested. What we were saying about horror games earlier on, I'm still really interested in the story and how you have to piece it together.
There was a game, it never came out in the US. I like kind of heard about it through, like, it was one of those only in Japan DS games, which I believe it was called something like Nanashi no Game or something.
Yes,
like
yeah.
Something that translated to The Nameless Game. And it was about basically what if The Ring were like Dragon Warrior 1, Dragon Quest 1. Like, it was this there was this haunted 8-bit Dragon Warrior looking game that everyone who played it like died in 7 days, and you had to get to the bottom of this and everything. And I was super like interested in this because I mean, like, Haunted Dragon Quest 1, sign me the hell up. But unfortunately, once it actually came out and I took a closer look at it, like most of it is spent in the outside world where your player's actually wandering around, like not playing the game. He's going around, like, you know, doing real world stuff, at which point it looks more like your Resident Evils and Silent Hills and whatnot, which is the opposite of what I'm into. Like the actual part where you're playing the actual haunted game is very minimal, and that was what I was there for, so I kind of lost interest at that point. But it, you know, again, if someone has something that's more along those lines, please leave in the comments, because we would be very interested in. You know what I should do? I should go back and try Yume Nikki again. I tried it once and never got very far because I just got hopelessly lost. But you know, that's the sort of thing that I should try again, because it sounds like it fits a lot of things I'm describing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever play Doki Doki Panic? No, not Doki Doki, Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Panic is what happened to me when I watched it.
I have not played Doki Doki Lit Club, but I've seen it. I know the reveal and all that stuff, so I'm familiar with it. I've been exposed. I'm about as familiar with it as one could be without playing it yourself.
Yeah, the concept of games going mad and evil and insane like that is intensely frightening to me, and yet it does pique my interest as well.
I absolutely need to play Pony Island. I know
What's Pony Island?
From osmosis that it's one of those games. It's, you know, it's about the titular game Pony Island, but except no, it's not. It's about, you know, Pony Island going mad and turning into a creepypasta and everything. It sounds like everything I've been describing here, and I know I would love it, and we actually own it. It's right there. I could play it at any time. It's just I've never gotten around to it because ADHD, and I've got other things on the list, and et cetera, but that is one that I absolutely need to play, because I'm sitting here begging anyone who's watching this in the comments, if you have cool games along those lines, please let us know. Which, by the way, that's still true. I still want to hear any other recommendations you have. But, you know, I haven't even played Pony Island yet, and I know that's going to be like the example of that sort of thing. So I know we need to play that one, and I even own it, and we can play that one, and I just haven't gotten around to it, but we will eventually. But aside from that, any Pony Island-like games, we're definitely interested in.
So is Pony Island anything to do with My Little Pony?
No.
Okay.
It's a different kind of non-copyright, you know, royalty-free ponies.
Yeah, there was one, you know, because Penny has just reached the My Little Pony phase, so I know everything there is to know. I know everything there is to know about the program now. I've watched. It's called Rainbow Rocks, the film where they're all human-ish, anthropomorph-ish, and they're in a heavy metal band and they fight sirens and dragons, and it's fantastic.
Interesting premise.
That's what I've picked up from watching the scenes that Penny's shown me.
See, back in our day, we had like Gem and the Holograms or Barbie and the Rockers, if we wanted that sort of thing. But
oh, there was this thing she was watching a couple of nights ago where it was someone reenacting the Barbie cartoons with the toys. And it's an official thing that by Hasbro or Mattel or whoever owns Barbie now. But it's professionally made, but it has this kind of homemade aesthetic. And something about doing it with the toys just makes it absolutely hysterical.
I will say, if you want an aesthetic of something that's all cute on the surface, but is actually super dark when you get into it, which I know you actually don't, but just because we were talking about it, so I'll just put it in the form of, let's pretend if that's what you wanted. The G1, the original My Little Pony, was a lot like that because, you know, you had your My Little Pony cast, and of course it was all meant to promote the toy line and everything. But at the same time, like every single episode had some monster that was like out to destroy the world or something, and the ponies had to use their rainbow magic to like Care Bear stared into oblivion or whatever. But you know, it was pretty. There was a lot of peril there for the fact that it was, you know, My Little Pony. And I'm told that later episodes of Friendship is Magic kind of get intense as well, but like a lot of G1 My Little Pony was just freaking dark, man.
Oh wow, yeah. This doesn't really count because it's fan made, but very recently in my other career as a Doom Rabbit, I played a My Little Pony game, and this My Little Pony game contained a lot of kind of fascist themes that I frankly hadn't picked up from the cartoon when I watched it with Penny. It ended up being by far. Maybe it just felt like it because I went in expecting it's My Little Pony, but I had to put a content warning on the start saying if you've got this in the My Little Pony list and you're sitting your preschooler down to watch it, please for God's sake don't.
I would make a comment here about fascism in the My Little Pony fandom, but I don't want to turn the comments of this video into a minefield, so I'll refrain. But you probably know what I'm talking about.
This is a world.
If you don't, good.
Okay. What was the other thing? Yeah, the other cartoon that was horrifying and dystopian was Reboot.
Oh, we need to get back into that and start watching that again. I used to watch that back in the day, and I've always been interested in like going back and revisiting that one.
How far did you get in it?
We didn't really watch it sequentially, so I kind of saw bits and pieces from all over the series run. But I know we've seen stuff from before and after the time skip.
Right, yeah, that's what I meant, because it was kind of a weird cartoon before then. It had this kind of dystopian energy to it, but then end of the second series came, the writers went mad, killed everyone, and just restarted this cartoon with a much darker theme.
No, if we're talking cartoons of that era that had Tony J voicing them, we were more into Mighty Max at the time, which is actually pretty underrated, I would say. Mighty Max is interesting because it poses the answer to if you had Tony J, Richard Mall, and Tim Curry all in the same room voicing this show, but there could only be one villain and the other two had to play against type. Who would be the villain among that group? And I'll let you guess if you haven't seen it.
Oh, I haven't seen it, so I actually know this. Tony J was this this kind of thing that looked like what I'm fighting just now, actually. This turtle owl in a robe. I'm not sure.
Fowl, actually.
I'm not.
But yes.
What?
Fowl, actually, was his catchphrase whenever Max called him a chicken.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. Tim Curry would be my next choice as a villain.
That's the one.
Uh-huh.
And Richard Mall was Norman, the big bodyguard type who would be equivalent to our day in our system now, I think.
You know, I'm still not quite over the fact that there aren't going to be any more films with Alan Rickman in them.
Yeah.
Especially because there was a time in this, especially in the 80s, early 90s, where he was the British villain in every single film. And he was kind of replaced by Benedict Cumberbatch just after he died, where Benedict Cumberbatch was then in everything. For a couple of years, he was Smaug, he was Khan, he was this massive list of things.
Yeah, over here, if you wanted, like, you know, the typecast villain and everything, it was either Tony J, except in Mighty Max, where he had to play against Type because he was up against Tim Curry, who would be the other one.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Oops. The good news about mistakes like this in this game is you're usually, you make that mistake once and you can usually see exactly what went wrong and what you need to do next time.
It was interesting what was over there, though. My stock of lives has definitely diminished since my healthy days of having 15 to 20 at the start. Oh, cock. Right, there we go. Thank you. Ah! This game certainly demands a lot of you. There's, I suppose this is true of every Mario game, or at least the ones I've played, that every stage has its own kind of character. It's not like the Sonic games where you have a couple of levels in one environment and then you switch to the next. In Mario, the environments are longer, but each level has its own gimmick within that environment. Oh, piss off! Alright, I'll get you, Lemmy.
This is going to be interesting to edit down.
Well, I've been very grateful for you going on going on in your filibusters about retro games and things, because it makes
very grateful. You're very grateful for me going on and on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, I really am, because it makes this so much more interesting, and I don't have to edit it down as much.
That's kind of a blessing and a curse for me. I've always been the type of person who, once you get me going on a subject I'm interested in, then we're going to be here for a while.
That's actually why I was so interested in you at the start. You know, when we kind of encountered each other on LiveJournal. And, you know, everyone else would make little quick comments in response, and whenever I got one from you, it was this essay about what I'd written and all these memories of your own and everything, and it was incredible to read.
I'm semi-affectionately known as the word rat in my friend circles. It's something I do get self-conscious about, because I try not to just blather on too much, but fortunately, most people I've done this to are like you, where they actually seem to enjoy that, and they want to hear what I have to say, but it's still just, I get very self-conscious about the fact that I do that, which doesn't stop me from doing it. I'll still...
Yes,
but,
sorry, carry
on. But I'll at least, you know, feel awkward and self-conscious and, oops, oh shit, I did it again, like after the fact.
Okay, so we're back with him throwing the PlayStation symbols at us. Well... Oh, what happened there? I managed to phase through it. Twice.
Well, all that practice is paying off, I see.
Right, there he is. Okay. So nerve-wracking! All right. Okay, just take it calmly.
forgot they actually had several different enemy types they could turn the blocks into.
Oh,
like
yeah?
I remember the turning them into Koopa Troopas there, but I forgot that they could turn them into a Thwimp as well.
A what?
The miniature Thwomps. They're called
Oh,
Thwimps.
incredible. Oh, come on, that went through a block. I'll get past this, even if it takes me all week.
We're not experts at every single Mario name for like every Mario enemy that has ever existed, but we do know quite a few of them, at least.
Ah! I remembered the fish are called Cheep Cheeps, and I don't know why.
The fireballs you're jumping over, I believe, are Potobos.
Really? It would never have occurred to me to attempt to look up the name for what is obviously just a jumping fireball. Here we go, here we go. Come here, okay. Doing okay. Let's get rid of him. Oh, missed him. Hang on. Alright, you get a very small window to jump on him. Can I grab that? Yes, I can. Okay. Now, what I want to do is get some coins. Okay, calm down. Hit! Oh god, not that. Hit that. Oh, he appeared where I didn't want him to. Ah! I'm past that room! I'm past that room!
Woohoo!
How old were you when you completed this game for the first time?
When was it released again? I'd have to do some math.
I think this was 1991, maybe 2. When was the Super Nintendo released? We don't know. I'm 36. I don't have any memories anymore. I was talking to the greatest 13-year-old ever on a game of Quake today. He was just in the voice chat, chattering away and saying that he'd just bought the game and this is the first time playing it, and he was so interested in all the old Apogee and ID games, and it was amazing. I thought things are going to be all right.
Hey, well, good thing you have an entire stumbling through series on Apogee.
Well, his handle was Rat King. So I don't know if you are watching this somehow by some magic, then thank you very much for giving me hope for the future.
Goodness knows we could use more of that these days.
Yeah, I think I'm not demonstrating much hope for the last generation because I can't complete this game. Come on. Don't reanimate in front of me. This is a really long level. Alright, what's going to happen now? Alright. Oh god, 98 seconds. Oh, they're not even seconds, it's going down faster. Easy. Okay, so I find myself thankful once again that Mario bosses have been very easy historically.
Yeah, it was the castle that gave you more trouble than
It was
Lemon
just that
itself.
it was just that wizard saying square, circle, triangle. What? When all else fails, just hit it with a hammer. Mario has triumphed over Lemmy Koopa of Castle Number 3. Mario's quest is starting to get much more difficult. Have you found the red and green switches yet? I don't know. Did I find the yellow one?
You found the yellow one. Unless you've found others off screen, I don't think you found any of the others.
I have not, and I wouldn't be able to tell which was which anyway.
Thank you to everyone on the left here for supporting me creating Stumbling Tours videos. If you'd like to join in or make suggestions for other games to cover, please have a look at David X Newton on Patreon.